You're listening to SoFloRadio.com. Z Nation. Z Nation. Where consciousness is queen, love really is the answer. And making a difference is on the menu. Z Nation. Organic beats and inspiring treats. Get your weekly dose of vitamin Z now. This is Z Nation on SoFloRadio.com.
This is why we're hot. Because we have Dr. Love on the show today. This is why we're hot. Welcome, Dr. Love, to Z Nation.
Thank you so much.
Yes, welcome everybody. This is Zayna the Gaia, and this is Z Nation Radio. We're broadcasting from Hollywood, Florida, right here on SoFloRadio.com. That's what's up. I am so excited. Gosh, I had sent you that message a few weeks ago when Pele was on the show.
Yeah.
And I was so excited for you to see how we danced to it. Because Dr. Love has a really cool song. What is it called?
This is why I'm hot, because I do Qigong.
At some point, you dropped a beat in that song of, I don't know who it was, but I was like, whoa, he just went for it. But yeah, we love it. So having you on the show today really, really is so exciting for us.
Thank you. And I'm a big fan of yours, by the way, so for a couple of years now. So I'm just as excited.
Mutual. Awesome, you guys. Well, we're going to get into more of Dr. Love and what he's up to in a little bit. I want to share with you guys a little bit about my my last venture. After speaking with you, Dr. Love, and knowing you were going to be on the show, I thought a good theme for the show would be healing. Because whenever I'm in your space, it's like there's healing.
Yes. I've been told that.
This is why he's hot.
I carry the healing vibe with me.
And healing is hot, and healing is happening. And I wanted to share a little bit about the world of healing. You know, it's a hot topic. It's a hot topic whether you're in the quote-unquote conscious community or you're not. Everybody's looking for some sort of healing. And we're as consciousness is evolving and humanity is evolving, we're discovering that healing happens at many layers, and we're discovering that we are all healers.
25% of the population has the higher capability of healing with no training whatsoever. The other 75%, they need a little bit of training.
That's why we're here. That's why we're hot. That's why we're the teachers of this time. Mm-hmm. And it really is. It's an essential role. We went to an event on Friday, Sunset and I, called Gather 3. It was very interesting. Conscious event, I guess there is something that's happening more and more is these conscious events that are meant to bring people in so they can discover healing and higher consciousness thinking, unity thinking. And we did a talk there for Z Nation, and we shared about the consciousness movement and also about the wave of people who are awakening right now to truth. And there really is like a wave, kind of like the baby boomers wave. Now there's this wave of awakening, and it's an opportunity. And if you haven't seized the signs of the ages yet, that's a sign to step up. Step into whatever it is you came on the planet to do. And I was writing you a song. I was like, this is why he's hot, because he's Dr. Love. This is why you're not, because you're full of fear.
You gotta open your heart side to side. Qigong side to side.
So healing, such a hot topic. And all of us, healers need healing. Everybody not needs healing. Like, we deserve to bring that attention inwards and heal whatever it is to heal that comes from our humanity, really. We've come into these human bodies, and we have several layers of healing. We have the emotional healing and the mental healing, and the final manifestation of dis-ease is the physical healing. I know for myself, I dealt with HPV, which is the human papillovirus, which manifests physically as warts. And what I learned from that, and I was so, once I discovered that I was dealing with this in my body, I really had like this moment of like, wow, Z, you get to prove to yourself now experientially that you are a healer, and we're going to do this. And so I set out to discover, all the different ways that we heal. And I approached it very holistically. And I started doing everything I knew to do, and started researching what else I can do to, one, reverse the symptoms physically, and two, uncover the deeper roots of this dis-ease, or this manifestation of dis-ease in really in the emotional body and in the soul. And it was incredible when I still do, but I was leading them regularly, was women's healing circles. And what I discovered was when we came together as women and we shared and we took off the masks and just let our hearts be open and allow each other to be naked. Now, we didn't take our clothes off at these things. I mean, it could happen, but we were naked with our hearts. There was healing that happened. And I'll never forget when I did a circle and I took the sharing stick and I said, I want to share. And I shared that I had just found out that I had HPV, this virus. And I was terrified and I was really ashamed. And I had never said it out loud. And I said it out loud to like 40 women, all ages. And then I said it, and it was like the end of the world when I said it. It was like, and then, one woman said, girl, that's like a cold. You just fight that off. Another woman was like, I had that too. They took out my cervix. Oh, I have it too. I have it too. And I was just, I remember leaving that circle that night, and whatever heaviness, whatever guilt and shame and that dark tar stuff that was on the inside, it was gone. And I walked out a different woman. I walked out with my chest high, and my heart was open, and there was a lightness. And I knew that healing had happened. Now, it hadn't caught up to the physical yet, because that's not how it happens. Oftentimes, it has to go through those layers.
It's got to go backwards to the way it was created.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I had worked with a healer a while ago, and she had told me, sometimes the physical body will go, but the soul has healed. We don't see that part. It may not have caught up to the physical body. And sometimes people leaving the planet, their physical body leaving, doesn't mean that they didn't heal. The soul didn't heal.
Yes, there's a soul evolution. And there's this movie with Tom Hanks and Halle Berry in it. And I cannot remember the name of the film. But they have several lifetimes together, a couple hundred years apart.
I've seen the commercial for that.
You know the movie I'm talking about?
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I've seen the commercial, and it's like they go through like galaxies and
time periods, and it's an amazing movie, and it accurately reflects the belief system of the ancients. So we talk about souls entwined or hearts entwined. And then they keep reincarnating in similar circumstances to continue to work out their karma.
Yes, there's still lessons to be learned.
So when you talk about the conscious community, I call it soul elevation, because you wake up and you look around and you're like, hey, you need to wake up too. Yes. And then when you can't get your friend to wake up, you go back to sleep. And then a few years later, you wake up again, and then you get all judgmental about all the other people who aren't awake. And then you start blaming, and then you fall back asleep. And then a few years later, you wake up again, and then you're like, I'm going to start a religion. And I'm going to create a cult, and everybody's going to they're going to juice, and they're going to be up at sunrise, and they're sun gaze. I'm going to force them. And then you become antithetical to the very thing that you were trying to create. So some people call all of those experiences consciousness raising. I'm like, okay, if that's what you want to call it. But you're only concerned about your own soul, and let your own soul evolve, and stop worrying about this guy and my friend that won't wake up and my mother who won't listen, and just continue to evolve and continue to grow, which you are doing in front of thousands of people. And I honor you for that. I totally honor you.
You're awesome. That was so great. That was really great. It was like the consciousness evolution right there. Thank you. And I received the acknowledgement, Dr. Love. So, so healing. And I invite everyone to really look at what Dr. Love, what you just said, just focus on you, heal you, do you. And in that, we really start to create a ripple effect because, man, when I started doing those women's healing circles, what I realized is I was doing them for me. And the more I did them, the more I healed. The more I let go of the shame and the guilt and whatever I had around women, whatever I had around men. And in turn, doing that created a lot of healing. And then women started doing women's circles around me all over the country.
It's contagious, right?
It is. And I would leave, because we were on tour. So everywhere I would leave, they would start doing those circles. And Norris, I didn't introduce you.
I know, it's all right.
So we also have Norris on the show. Norris is from a band that I just heard about, but a lot of people probably already know. They're like the longest band that's been together ever in Jamaica. But I'm going to say ever.
From Jamaica, yeah.
So they're called Third World.
Yeah.
Awesome conscious reggae band. Yeah.
Strictly from the roots.
Strictly from the roots.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I wanted to share with you guys also an experience I had this weekend. So I'm getting ready to do this awesome retreat. It's a transformational healing retreat that what we've done is we brought together these masters, these experts in different healing modalities. And last weekend we all got together and we did like a little sampling of each other's work. So imagine like Dr. Love, you're in a room with like 5, 6, I think we were 7 healers, Reiki, hypnotherapy. I mean, it was incredible. And we each got half an hour to 45 minutes with each other and got to just, give each other our services. It was incredible. But I wanted to share, I had an amazing experience with my friend Erin Schneider. She's actually the one that's been that has started this company, Integrated Consciousness, and she did work with us. I'm not sure what to call it, but basically, let's say Sunset, you would stand in front of me and you would play the role of somebody, your mother, my father, my brother, and mind you, I've done a lot of work around this before. Like I've done work around my father. I've done a lot of, releasing anger exercises, all that stuff. So I was like, I'll give this a try. But, I've done a lot of this yelling stuff. And so, and then you had to, project. In my case, I chose a parent and I projected and expressed to them things I hadn't said. And girl, so much came out. But what was so powerful was at the end, after you let all that stuff out, you talk to the person. In my case, it was my dad. And, you say, I give you back whatever you want to return to them. Because what we do, we end up doing that, whether it's family members or ex-boyfriends and girlfriends, we end up wearing them energetically like a coat. And we have all these coats on. So you physically remove the coat and you said, I return your fears back to you. I return your lies back to you. All these ways of being that I've taken on from you, I return them to you. And then you take back what's yours. So I took back like my femininity. I took back my sacred goddessness. I took back everything that was mine. And then at the end you say, I am me and you are you and we are separate. And one other thing I gave back, and I think this is important for women to hear, but everybody to hear. One thing that I took back was my heart. So I still give my love, but I took my heart back. And that really moved me because, without my heart, I can't live. And I know I did this. I know we do this. We give our hearts. We do. We love to give our hearts. But we can give our love and keep our hearts. So try that on. Try it on and see how it resonates for you.
Your heart is your identity.
I was about to say, you give away your heart, you give away yourself.
Yeah.
Yes, and then you lose
Our
yourself.
identity, right? And love is an action. It's not a feeling. It's not a thought. It's an action.
It's in action.
So we do love. We be love. But the heart is the single most important thing, because the heart is connected to the spirit, to the emotions, to the energy, to food, to sex, and the physical. So you've got 6 layers of heart.
Yes.
Wow.
6 different layers.
6 layers of heart. That's a lot of love, Dr. Love. We're going to tune in to more of Dr. Love, his layers of love, and everything else. Before we go into our sponsors, though, I want to talk to you guys about a very special training that's coming up at I Love Yoga. So we are starting another yoga teacher training at I Love Yoga on October 30th. And this is an opportunity. Do it. It's an opportunity really to step into whatever it is that you want to do in the world. It's an amazing opportunity to create community, tribe, and really have the supportive community to like go on and create whatever it is you want to create in your life. And of course, it's an opportunity to delve deeper into spirituality, into yoga, and into community. So that starts October 30th. And I encourage you, if you're, anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world, you can come and participate in this and take 12 weeks out and come and be in South Florida. Or if you're in the South Florida area, we are next to Fort Lauderdale Airport. So we'll be back with some more amazing Dr. Love right here on SoFloRadio.com.
Get hydrated, stretch, and take a deep breath. Z Nation will be right back.
Right, Dad, please, can I sleep over Amy and David's house,
Wait,
please, tonight?
I can't hear you.
Dad, FML, please, I'm trying
Sweetie, I can't hear you.
Whatever, I'm done.
Sound familiar? Are communication breakdowns creating a barrier between you and your teenagers? Join us for a free, fun, and interactive play date with your family. Create art, learn about communication tools, plus get surprise prizes and yummy treats. And the Teen Whisperers staff will also put on the original play, Can You Hear Me Now? Call 954-889-6894 to RSVP and bring your entire family to 2980 Griffin Road, Dania Beach, Florida on Sunday, October 18th from 12 to 3 p.m. We'll see you there.
Add a twist of yoga.
Yoga Twist with Julie.
A great way to integrate yoga, meditation, and lots of fun.
Promote family bonding. Help with flexibility and exercise. I teach grown-ups too.
Join Julie for beginner and gentle adult classes.
Book a group, family, or one-on-one session now. Email me, yogatwistjulie@gmail.com.
Follow Yoga Twist Julie on Instagram and like Yoga Twist on Facebook for great family lifestyle tips and Yoga Twist events.
Now, back to Z Nation, your weekly dose of inspiration on SoFloRadio.com.
Let him be praised continually. Kibula amlak imaskan. Glory to Jah, let him be praised. He will take us by the hand and lead us to the wonderland. We can't be good, we'll be careful and do the best that we can. Kibila amlak imasgan. Glory to Jah, let him be praised.
Latest release from Third World. What's the name of this song?
It's called Yimasgan.
Yimasgan. And how do you say that in English?
Well, it's Amharic, so the meaning of it is really let Jah be praised.
Let Jah be praised. My brothers and sisters. Jah. Thank you. Thank you, Sunset.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Norris.
Thank you for being here, Norris.
You're welcome.
It's an
We have
honor.
to share the love,
Yeah.
Spread it.
Thank you for being a conscious band spreading mainly LOVE. It seems to be the topic around this place.
That's right.
Everywhere there's Dr. Love, there's more love. It multiplies.
Most of what I was explaining before Dr. Love came, that most of our songs that we've been doing for the past 42 or 43 years, at least 40% or more. I think it's about at least 60% of them. The primary message in it is love. They tried your love. Now that we found love,
Right,
dancing
that's
on
my
the floor,
personal
all of
favorite.
those songs.
Oh yeah, I was like,
You know,
wait.
it's all about love.
It's all about the love.
It's about love. All right, I got a song for you, Dr. Love. It's about faith. Have you ever heard her? What's her name? CeCe White?
Yes, I have heard
Yeah,
CeCe
that's
White.
one of her songs.
Yes,
It's about love. It's I think the Kirtan ones. Kirtan feels good. All right, love feels good. All right, I'm ready. I'm ready when you are. Give me a beat, girl. Yeah. Drop a beat, yo. Dr. Love. Yo. He's so cool, he wrote a rap song about Qigong. Be gone with any negativity, be blessed with all of God's positivity. Yo, Dr. Love, he goes all out, he keeps it real, and he's schooling you about health and love, energy, and the one above. We call it love. Yeah. This is why he's hot. 'Cause he's Dr. Love. This is why he's hot. Welcome, Dr. Love. I am the nicest sounding rapper you'll ever hear.
You are definitely the nicest sounding rapper.
Yeah.
I'd be scared if you went hard.
I go hard sometimes. I get down with the gangsta love rap, but we're working on this.
Gangsta love. My friend Moses is so impressive.
Tell me.
I just wanted to meet him. I had heard about him, and then we just clicked, and we talked like nonstop for 30 minutes. And people kept trying to interrupt us, and we locked eyes, and nobody could penetrate the energy field that we were creating. It was really amazing.
He says hi.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I say love.
Hi, love.
You say hi, I say love.
Hi, love. Hi, love. So for those of you who have not met Dr. Love yet in this life, in this world, Dr. Love is a doctor of Oriental medicine. Amongst other things, okay, I'm just going to list a couple. A licensed acupuncture physician. Also a Qigong master of Blue Dragon, the immortal Qigong. And many other things. I know you're just a big space in the community globally, Dr. Love. You know, the global community, the universal community of awakening truth, love. It's just a space for people to get real.
Yes, it's pretty amazing. I have students now in Ukraine, in Estonia, in Nigeria, in Ghana, in London, in Italy, in Corsica. I'm getting pretty universal now.
Yeah.
So, and the music is the thing that brought me there.
Really?
People heard the music, and they said, "Who's that guy?" And they reached out, and now they're students all over the world.
Good, and you have an online school.
We have the online school that's going to go live November 15th. the way we do now is it's live with me, but in November 15th, we'll have all the classes online, so you can download them at your leisure, take the test at your leisure. There's 6 levels to the school.
This is a certification?
This is a certification.
Okay.
So level 1 is Qigong player.
Ah.
Level 2 is Qigong instructor. Level 3 is Qigong therapist. Level 4 is Qigong healer. Level 5 is Qigong practitioner. And level 6 is scholar warrior.
Wow.
So my Doctor of Oriental Medicine is from the Jushu Lin Taoist Scholars Council from Beijing.
And did you do it over there in Beijing?
Fortunately, my teacher was able to get out of China because in China, they're not very well respected or well paid because the Gang of Four, the Cultural Revolution, was against the ancient healing arts. They wanted to modernize and they wanted to use drugs and surgery and Western medicine.
Sounds familiar.
So the skilled ones got out. They went to Australia and Canada and the United States. So I was lucky enough to meet my master in Chinatown, New York. And when he found out that I was already an acupuncturist for 3 years, he said, I want you to study with me. And for 3 weeks, I was thinking, when is the next time a Qigong master is going to ask me to study with him?
Right?
And I'm like, I'm going to go for it. So I closed my practice. I moved in with him. And for the next 6 years, I was his apprentice.
Wow.
And that's most of my skill, 80% of my skill came from those 6 years with my master. I also studied with Dr. Monica from Japan, Dr. Antanjaya Surya from Sri Lanka, Dr. Aja Lee from Korea, and Dr. Yeshi Dandin from Tibet. I spent a year studying Tibetan medicine. So I'm kind of more well-rounded than the average person coming out of acupuncture school.
I got that.
Now, acupuncture is a tool. Would you call a carpenter a hammerman?
No.
Or a sawman? No. So why would you call a doctor of Oriental medicine an acupuncturist? Because that's only one tool. So there's 10 tools in my medicine bag. There's magnets, there's electricity, there's red light, there's heat, there's sound, there's pressure, there's cupping, there's scraping. So we have all these different tools in the medicine bag that we call meridian therapy. So the science behind Chinese medicine is called the science of longevity. And it's based on the circulation of qi and blood. And qi is the electromagnetic energy that moves the blood so that the blood can pump the heart.
I'm sorry, Dr. Love. This all sounds so sexy. You make it sounds so hot.
Yes.
I really do. Can we get a beat behind this? I'm just kidding, Sunset. We're going to have Dr. Love wrap this whole interview. No, really, it's so clear. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but it was like, wow. Okay,
So we're taught that the heart pumps the blood. But when you hear, now we found love, what are we gonna do with it? All of a sudden, you get happy, and your heart speeds up. So now, did the heart pump the blood, or did the blood hear the sound and pump the heart? So how could sound directly affect the heart unless it went through the ears? And every drop of blood goes through your ear every hour. And the blood is closest to the surface of the skin in your ear. The ears look like antenna. They look like little sonar things, right? And they are. So it takes in that sound and translates it into particles and waves in the blood, which then speeds up the heart. So we've been taught incorrectly. We've been misled.
Reversed.
Rewind.
So a lot of what we think we know is based upon perception from what we get from the media, which has an agenda, which is to keep us stupid.
It's not the science of longevity, that's for sure.
Clearly not.
Dr. Love, can we pause and rewind?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. I would love to find out a little bit more about you.
About me.
Yeah. How did you come to all this? Where did you grow up?
I grew up in West Philly.
West Philly.
West Philly. In a mixed neighborhood.
Ferguson.
And 50% of the teenage girls were pregnant before they finished high school.
Wow.
And I couldn't wrap my head around that.
Oh my God, that was me in high school too. I was like...
Now, my parents went to church, which meant I went to church. And so there was this whole church group of people. And then there was the parents who were like hard on their kids and had very high expectations. You will not miss a day of school. And then there were parents who were like laissez-faire, like, oh, do what you want, come home when you want. And so just observing the neighborhood, I realized that the parents of the teenage girls that weren't cared for got pregnant because they were seeking love. And the parents of the kids who dropped out of school dropped out because their parents had no expectation of them. And the kids who turned to crime because their parents didn't give them or show them the economic opportunities that were available, however minuscule they may have been. But I had a paper route, and I took trash to the junkyard, and I went to the grocery store and carried people's groceries home. So I hustled. I made money. So the kids that didn't, was it their parents or was it intrinsic? Is that a crime because you live in a mixed neighborhood? So I observed all this stuff and I said, I got to get out of here because Philadelphia is very limiting to me. So I joined the Navy at
How old?
At night. Oh, first of all, I graduated high school at 16.
Okay.
I was a National Merit Scholar and I got a full college scholarship and I dropped out because racism in education reared its ugly head, and I didn't deal with it in high school, so I figured, well, I don't have to deal with this in college. So I dropped out of college, joined the Navy, went around the world, came back to Philly, and said, you got to grow. And I moved to New York.
Wow.
And then in New York, I literally blossomed.
Yes, you do.
Sunset is from New York.
Yeah.
So
20 years.
I started off in Queens, in Jamaica, Queens.
Okay.
And then I got a job on Wall Street as a commodities broker. And I made $100,000 a year when I was 27 years old. Now, $100,000 a year then is like $250,000 now. So I was clocking big dollars. And I didn't know what to do with it. And I did all the stupid things that people do when they have money and don't know what to do with it. And then, at the age of 29, I met the Dalai Lama by accident in an elevator at the UN.
What?
You were in an elevator with him? Well, not accidentally, but that's how it happened.
I had met Dalu in Central Park, who was a Tai Chi teacher, and he invited me to his Tai Chi class at the UN.
Wow.
And I got on the wrong elevator. And there's the Dalai Lama. Now, in 1979, how many people know who the Dalai Lama is, right? But I did.
Wow.
Because I read newspapers. And I was, I couldn't talk. And he said, you have questions, my son? And I'm like, yeah, but I don't know what to ask.
Jumbled up.
So he said, would you like to learn how to change 3 lifetimes of karma in 30 days?
What?
And I was like, of course. So I dropped my briefcase, I get out my notebook, and I'm ready to write. And he says, be good, be kind, become passionate. Now, I heard become passionate, not be compassionate. So for the next year, I was passionate about everything.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Come on. Are you serious?
I'm serious. I'm not making this up.
Become passionate.
So I was passionate about everything. A year later, I went to hear him speak in a public place, and I heard him say it again, be compassionate. And I'm like, what is compassion? Compassion is not sympathy. Compassion is not empathy. Compassion is standing in your own power while you hold the hand of the person who's going through their trauma. That means you don't get dragged into their drama. You don't get sucked in. You don't give them money. You don't lend them your stuff. You don't put them in your house where they can wreak havoc with your life. You stand in your power and you hold to their hand. That is compassion. And that's how you change your life and change your karma. Now, I was argumentative in high school. I always wanted to be right. And I realized by the time I hit 30, being right doesn't make good friends.
No.
And I'd rather have friends. So, would you rather be right
All the time.
or would you rather be in harmony? So, when my friend is wrong, I just shut my mouth and just say, okay. Because
yes.
whatever delusional thing that they're going through, they'll discover it with somebody else because I love them just the way they are. And I give them the space to be wrong. That's another form of compassion.
It is. I love your definition of compassion. I always say compassion is like holding space for others and my humanity, like giving it room. I love what you said about standing in your power. That adds to it. Like, yeah, I have room for and I'm standing in my power while I give you room for your stuff. And same thing for me, having compassion for ourselves. And wow, standing in my power while I give myself room for my own BS is pretty awesome. And that's a whole other level of awareness.
Because we're all human. So we have an animal nature. So our animal nature is aggressive. It wants to possess things. It wants to own things. It wants to control things. And then we have a human nature, and we have a higher and a lower human nature. Yeah. So the lower human nature is envious and jealous. And the higher human nature is, oh, come in, let me help you, I love you. And then we have a divine nature, and we get glimpses of that every once in a while. But wouldn't it be great if we could align the animal, the human, and the divine all at the same time? What if we could stay in divine alignment instead of alternate Thursdays at 3:15?
How do you teach people to be in divine alignment who maybe brand new to this stuff?
Yeah.
How do you step into that conversation with people?
Okay. First thing is meditation. Now, everybody's heard the word. Most people don't really know what it is because they think meditation is doing something, and it's actually undoing something. That's the hardest thing because we've all been taught, do this. Well, what does that do for you? When you do that, what is the outcome? What's supposed to happen? Nothing.
Sometimes nothing.
Absolutely nothing. So people get caught up in the doing of it. So I say, well, there's breathing meditation, there's standing meditation, there's dancing meditation, there's spinning meditation, there's walking meditation, there is mandala meditation,
Coloring.
There's fire meditation. So there's 8 different methods that I teach. I don't teach the mandala coloring book, but that's a very good one because I just got it for myself.
Yes.
So once you go through all 8, you're going to find one of those that resonates with you. And that's the one you need to do. There is no one size fits all. So we start with meditation. The second thing is breathing. Now, you can go 40 days without food. You can go 14 days without water. But you can only go 4 minutes without air. So the single most important thing you can do is breathe. The word inspire means to breathe God in. And the word expire, he expired at 9:02. He died. He can't breathe God in anymore. He breathed God out. He breathed his last. So breathing is your connection to the divine.
That's so beautiful, Dr. Love. Inspiring is breathing God into me.
Okay? Now your nose is a pyramid. If you hold your head back, your nose is a pyramid.
Oh, you see, yes. If we take the top off, the spaceship can land.
That's right.
Exactly. Now, you have two holes. If you meditate, you will figure out that you breathe out of both nostrils for 4 hours. Then you breathe out of one nostril for 2 hours, both for 4, and then one for 2. And that you actually have alternate breathing, which I'm sure you've learned in your yoga class, is alternate nose breathing.
Is that like some kind of geometric pattern?
It is a geometric pattern, absolutely, which creates negative ions. So your nose warms the air before it goes into your lungs. Wow. So by creating negative ions, you open up the brain. Okay? Now, we all know Om, O-M. Everybody knows Om. In fact, there's a symbol for it that looks like a sideways 3 with a little thing on it. Okay. But do we know that Om is actually the connection to divine? We don't. Because we go Om, Om, O, and we concentrate on the O when we should be concentrating on the M. So the O is only 20%. The M is 80%. Now, when you M,
it vibrates.
It vibrates up to the bridge, the eyebrow bridge, which eventually will open your third eye. But if you go A-U-M, Aum, Aum, it actually opens the third eye. Where M only goes to here, but Aum, Aum is like a bubble of air under the water. You ever see bubbles come up and they kind of like spread as they go up? So when you go Aum.
That's the way I was taught Om, was that way.
A-U-M.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to teach you the secret on air in front of hundreds of thousands
of
listeners.
Oh, shit.
A-U-N-G-H. Ong. That opens the crown.
So this is A-U-M with an N-G at the end.
There's no M. It's A-U-N-G-H. And if you have a pen, I will draw you what that looks like. What is that?
Ooh, it's the tool that the Egyptians used to move energy.
Is this guy here?
Yeah, exactly.
I know everybody's wearing them, and so are you.
And I'm wearing an Ankh.
That's what it's called.
It's an
Ankh.
Oh,
I gotcha.
And so instead of a K, it's a G. It's Ong. 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 That opens the crown. A-U-M opens the third eye. Whoa. Okay, now.
Straight out of Egypt.
Straight out of Egypt. Now, I can't teach you the postures because you can't see me. But if I could teach you the postures, I could open up your animal and connect it to your human heart. And I just taught you how to open the crown and the third eye. Now, if we connect the breathing to the third eye and the crown, that is this loop here. Okay.
Of the Ankh.
Right. Okay. Now, the sacral bone is an upside down triangle.
Pyramid. Yeah.
Right. So and it's at the base. Exactly. That, and see how he has his fingers? Right. That is the sacral bone. Why do they call it sacred?
Because that's where the spaceship lands.
Ding, 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 ding.
Is it because
You
of
did
where
not answer.
creation is? That's where things are created? I don't know.
Close. That's very close.
That's the center of manifestation.
Closer. Warmer.
This is fun.
Why is it called sacred? How? Okay, do you believe that God created human beings?
Yes.
How did God do that?
So many answers to this.
There's only one answer, and it's not a trick question.
He gave us genitals.
Your mother and your father's holy love came together in sacred union.
Yes.
The sacral bone moves,
It's
supports
sacred
that.
union.
That's sacred union. Now, there's a pump behind the sacral bone, and that pump pumps up cerebrospinal fluid that lubricates the brain and the third eye. So we all know of the pineal gland. Yes? No?
Yes.
Yes, I
The pineal gland is at the base of the skull. It's also called the God particle, and that is your connection to divine source.
That's your download channel.
Bingo.
Now, wait, just go back. So you said when you have sex, you lubricate your third eye?
Yes.
That makes sense.
But you have to be taught the sacred sex. You can't figure it out. You can't read it in a book. It's an actual 90-day training program. Okay? And this was passed down.
Interesting.
Sacred teachings.
Sacred
this is
teachings.
A download, y'all. So wait, is this one of your program?
This is one of my programs, yeah.
What is it called?
Sacred sex.
Oh, that's awesome. Is that an online course?
No, that's a weekend course in the Bahamas.
Oh, that's what's up.
I need to take a trip already. Like, oh my god.
Sunset and I are gonna come.
You have to be in relationship.
Literally.
You have to be in relationship for at least a year to take that course.
Oh, damn.
And the reason why is because emotions interfere with the physical connection. Why did you look at me that way? Well, last night when I was talking, you turned your head like you didn't care what I said. So we make up these stories and we
Ego.
project all this stuff, and it interferes with the sexual connection. So all that emotional stuff has to be dealt with. So you have to take the emotional mastery course before you can take the sacred sex course.
Oh, got it. Okay, it is advanced and it is basic, but having that foundation is essential. Just so you know, Sunset and I are not a couple.
Really?
I mean,
I couldn't tell. The way you have your arm around her.
Not anymore.
I mean, we're business partners, so just so we're clear, you know. In case you had your eye on
What's
her.
wrong with that?
In case, you know, you thought, is she single? She's single. I'm not. You're single, right?
Yeah. I'm
Occasionally.
single.
Are you trying to pimp your girlfriend? Okay.
Y'all are making up stuff
I'm
now.
supposed to say I can't take that.
Okay. So we talk about sacred sex and then immediately you go into something else.
I love talking about sacred sex. We had Dave a presence here a few weeks ago.
I love him. Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna have him back soon. He just came back from some sacred sex something and somewhere. So it's always nice to hear about that stuff. I'm looking at this Blue Dragon Immortal Qigong. What is that? Is that what's the Blue Dragon Immortal Qigong?
Okay, so you have 9 different dragons. The blue dragon is the dragon that's peaceful. Just like the peaceful warrior,
Yeah.
the blue dragon is peaceful because the dragon typically represents aggressive energy.
You mean that's a red dragon?
The red dragon represents sexual energy,
Oh.
and the blue dragon represents healing energy.
Oh, okay.
So my master, Master Sunyata, was the master of the red dragon, and I studied with him for 20 years. My other master, the master of the blue dragon, I studied with him for 6 years. So I actually have more experience with the red than I do with the blue, but I'm now master of both dragons.
This just made me think of the right and left in the Tantra.
You are so on it.
Yeah.
You're so on it. Now, there's American Tantra,
Yeah.
which is technically not Tantra. It's called Kareza. And it's eye gazing, and it's breathing, and hand holding, and hugging, and dancing. And it's really about creating intimacy. That's not Tantra. That's Kareza. Tantra is the actual sexual elevation of the woman, which is Shakti.
Yes.
The male is Shiva. The male wants the Shakti. He can't get it because you possess that secret of eternal moisture and the bottomless pit of loving energy. Shiva cannot generate that. Shiva can only get that from Shakti. So Shiva has to worship Shakti. So Tantra, from the Hindu perspective, is actually Shaktiism.
Yes.
Worshipping the divine feminine. And that has absolutely nothing to do with American Tantra.
Yeah.
Two completely different studies. Now, the word Tantra itself means seed on a string. And what that means, that it's a teaching that's passed down, teacher to student, teacher to student, teacher to student. It's not for mass consumption.
Yeah.
There's no books written on it. It's not a weekend workshop. This is, I'm a yoga teacher, I have 100 students, and I pick 2 to teach that. The other 98 don't get it.
Do you teach Tantra?
I do.
And you were taught Tantra?
By my Qigong master.
Oh.
Okay?
There you go.
So I can only pick 2 that I think are qualified for me to transmit to.
And what are like some qualifications that you look for if you're going to teach somebody that?
I cannot say that on the radio.
Oh, okay.
I have been to tantric workshops where there's been like a panel of 10 tantric teachers. And when the whole thing is over, they come and whisper like, I want to study with you.
Wow.
And these are people that are teaching Tantra all over the country. But when they hear me speak, they want to study with me. Okay?
I guess it boils down to identification. Somebody has to see it.
Yeah.
I love
hear
it.
you.
Dr. Love, wow, you have provided us with quite a download today. And we are so grateful. We would love to have you back on the show, to discuss more of this just amazing work that you're doing. It's like a vast, vast world, right? Like you really have access to a vast, vast world.
I have been so blessed, first with the Chinese medicine and the Tibetan medicine, and then with the medical Qigong, and then with the Red Tantra from Master Saraswati. I mean, and he was the most gentle, kindest man. And he said, I'm only going to teach you these things. I'm not teaching the other students. So I was the chosen one to receive the transmission. And so I have to be selective in who I transmit that to. I can't just say, okay, everybody come, I'm going to
It ain't a weekend workshop. I so got that. Wow, I feel so honored that you shared all that with us. And it was really selfish of me to have you here today because I've been wanting to have some time with you to get to know what you do and who you are. So I really appreciate this intimate time, as you've shared a lot. So thank you. What we're going to do, we're going to go into a meditation. I haven't asked you yet, but would you like to lead us into a couple of minutes meditation
Surely.
to close the show?
Surely.
That would be amazing.
Could we do a mantra meditation?
We could do whatever you like.
Okay.
Yeah, we just have about like 2, 3, 4 minutes.
Okay.
We have like 5.
We have 5 minutes.
4 or 5 minutes.
Okay. So I'll give you just a little bit of background. I have 2 favorites. The first one is the Medicine Buddha mantra. Buddha taught, go into the forest for 5 years, meditate. After 5 years, you must leave the forest and go into the marketplace and teach people what you learned. So he spent 40 years teaching that.
Yeah.
After 40 years, he didn't have a whole lot of followers, even though he was the awakened one. So he sat down and he's like, I can't get the people to change because it's got to be intrinsic. So he says, okay, we're going to do this. You're going to do the Medicine Buddha mantra. And you don't have to change. You don't have to change your diet. You don't have to change your religion. You don't have to give money to the poor. You don't have to become pure. All you got to do, 20-minute Medicine Buddha meditation. And that vibration will create healing inside your own body. And then you must take 3 vows. 1, to help one person in the morning and one person in the afternoon. 2, to feed people and clothe people. So you have to provide food, whatever it is. If it's only 1 plate, if it's only 1 sweater, you have to feed and clothe people. And the 3rd one is to help women who have an issue of being abused by men. So those are the 3 vows of the Medicine Buddha.
Wow.
So that's my favorite chant. My second favorite chant is the Green Tara mantra. Now, I was on my way to South Beach to see a friend of mine. And on the way, I run into another friend of mine. And she says, "Oh, the monks from Tibet are here. You have to go hear the monks." I'm like, "No, I'm going to go see my friend." No, you have to go see the monks." "No, I made a commitment. I have to go see my friend." No, you have to go see the monk." Okay, I go to the monks. And who's there but the friend that I was going to meet? He was going to blow me off.
Wow.
To go see the monks from Tibet. So it wasn't a lecture, which what I thought it was. It was an empowerment to teach the Green Tara mantra. Now, Green Tara is a female deity.
Yes.
That is the protective one against lions and tigers and bears and snakes and all the negative influences in our world, which would be police and politicians. So Green Tara is pictured as ready to come off of her chair to protect you from negative forces. So which one do you want to learn?
The first one.
The first one. Okay. Tayata Om.
Tayata Om.
Bakansa Bakansa.
Bakanta Bakanta.
Mahabakansa.
Mahabakanta.
Radza.
Radza.
Samudgate.
Samudgate.
Soha.
Soha.
Tayata Om. Bakansa Bakansa. Mahabakansa. Radza Samugate Soha. Tayata Om. Bakansa Bakansa. Mahabakansa. Radha Samudgate Soha. Tayata Om. Bakansa Bakansa. Mahabakansa. Radha Samugate Soha. Tayata Om. Bakansa Bakansa. Mahabakansa. Bakansa. Radha Samugate Soha. Tayata Om. Bakansa Bakansa. Mahabakansa. Bakansa. Radha Samugate Soha. Tayata Om. Bakansa Bakansa. Mahabakansa. Bakansa. Radha Samugate Soha. Tayata Om. Bakansa Bakansa. Mahabakansa. Bakansa. Radha Samugate Soha.
Check out
Tayata Om. Bakansa Bakansa. Mahabakansa. Bakansa. Radha Samugate Soha.
Blue Dragon Qigong Academy.com.
Tayata Om. Bakansa Bakansa. Mahabakansa. Bakansa. Radha Samugate Soha.
Everybody,
Tayata Om.
thank
Bakansa
you
Bakansa.
for tuning in.
Mahabakansa. Bakansa. Radha Samugate Soha.
We are out,
Tayata Om.
and we will
Bakansa
check you
Bakansa. Mahabakansa.
next
Bakansa.
week.
Radha Samugate Soha.
Peace.
Tayata Om. Bakansa
Namaste.
Bakansa. Mahabakansa. Bakansa. Radha Samugate Soha.
You're listening to SoFloRadio.com.